Of all the storytelling mediums, video games are certainly unique given several of their key aspects. Video games are active in ways that TV shows, movies, and books are not. Without a player behind the wheel, nothing will happen in the story of the game. Most games are also made so that people will have diverse experiences playing it. Divergent story paths, character dialogue choices, and even difficulty modes can drastically change the way people engage with the game. There are some games, such as visual novels or very linear games, that limit player choice and freedom, but they can't take away the most important choice, which is whether to play the game or not. Now, how does the character Geralt of Rivia from the Witcher series fit into this? Because video games are a medium that emphasize freedom from the participants, the characters that inhabit these games need to be adaptable too, especially in games that present many different dialogue choices and story paths. The characters in those worlds need to be believable and entertaining no matter what choice the player makes along the way. This challenge is not easy to overcome. Many games of these types tend to make their main characters blank slates that can become audience inserts. That is a completely valid choice to make. CD Projekt Red, however, could not do that when they decided to make the Witcher game series. Why? Because Geralt of Rivia is a pre-established character originating in the Witcher book series by Andrzej Sapkowski. CD Projekt Red took the main character from a book series, wrote him over into the active choice-based medium of video games, chose to make that video game a story-rich, choices matter epic adventure, and in the process, made an incredible video game character. Before I continue into breaking down what makes Geralt of Rivia such a special character, there are a couple disclaimers, starting with spoiler warning for The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and only The Witcher 3. I do mention the previous games a couple times, but no major spoilers will come up, and The Witcher 3 is the best example of Geralt's character anyways. The second disclaimer is that I am only talking about the video game character. While I may talk about adapting the character from the books, Geralt from the books is not my focus in this video. Of course, this also means there will be no Henry Cavill Geralt appearances in this video, well, apart from this one. If you have not fled at the prospect of spoilers or the lack of hunky British men, let's get started. A quick background for those who either don't know Geralt or need a quick reminder. Geralt is a witcher, a person mutated in a ceremony called the Trial of the Grasses to possess superhuman strength, stamina, heightened senses, and longer life. Witchers usually are used as professional monster slayers given these abilities, but are also feared and shunned because of them. Much like another group in the Sorceresses, which might explain why Geralt gets along with them, or at least some of them. The of Rivia part of Geralt's title was given to him by Queen Meve after he aided in a key battle in her fight against the Nilfgaardian Empire. Later in life, he died. But he got better, although he lost many memories in the process. He tries to regain those memories with the help of friends such as the bard Dandelion and his occasional lover Triss. By the time The Witcher 3 rolls around, though, he has regained all his memories and is in search of his former paramour, Yennefer. After finding her, he is set a new task by Emperor Emhyr of Nilfgaard, and that is to find Emhyr's daughter and Geralt's surrogate daughter, Ciri. Unlike the character I talked about previously in this series, Geralt is not a teenage girl. I know, shocking. What I mean when I bring this up is that unlike Estelle and many other video game protagonists, Geralt is an adult with decades of experience and therefore isn't really going to have a journey of discovery in the same way many young adult protagonists do. Geralt, therefore, isn't a great character because of the way he develops over the story. He's a great character because of the way he fits into the story's narrative and how his journey reinforces the themes of the game. As I said before, The Witcher 3 makes your choices matter throughout the game. From little side quests to the main storyline, your decisions will have an impact on the world you inhabit. In some cases, this even means choosing life or death for particular characters. There are different ways to play the game and therefore different ways Geralt acts given your choices. So Geralt needs to be a flexible enough character to kill or save a monster, to pick one romance over the other, to forgive or to retaliate. And making Geralt believable whatever choice the player makes is difficult to pull off. The way the game does exactly that is by having Geralt present himself as a gruff, cynical, and pragmatic person. That's just what he presents though, and you as the player can choose for that to be the way he acts as well. Or you can go along with some of the hints the game puts in that Geralt has more to him than what's on the surface. As Dandelion puts it in the character description for Geralt, underneath lies an overflowing sea of goodwill, good humor, and an honest readiness to help his friends. Geralt is loyal, snarky, and overall a good person with commitments to fair treatment and justice. This allows players to pick the options that show a kinder, softer side to Geralt while still being true to the character established in scenes where the player has no control over what Geralt says or does. It's a delicate balancing act masterfully pulled off by the game's writers that resonates deeply with the players by making Geralt's adventure feel more personal to the player and authentic to the character and the world. I presented the choices as binary just now for the sake of simplicity, but many times they are more nuanced than that. Plus, sometimes you might pick the option to forgive the criminal in one case, and others you pick to punish them. Geralt does not need to be consistent. You don't have any sort of alignment points to follow. The consequences of your actions are simply what happens in game, which I think is a good approach. People are not consistent with their decisions, or at least they are consistent in their heads, but it doesn't always seem that way looking from the outside. Geralt reflects that for the players, which once again establishes another point of connection between him and the players. A fantastic trait for any video game protagonist to have, and doubly impressive to do that with a character adapted from another artistic medium. Let's look then at some specific examples of these decisions in action, and I'm going straight for the jugular by starting this with the romance decisions. While Geralt can sleep around with various women in the game, he really has two main love interests, Triss Merigold and Yennefer of Vengerberg. And believe me, people feel very strongly about which one is the right choice. Triss was established in previous games as Geralt's love interest while his memory was lost, including his memories of his previous love from the books Yennefer, who is missing from the first two games. In the third one then, Geralt needs to make a choice of one of the two of them, although he can choose neither, either by not picking one, or by picking both and having them get revenge on his cheating dastard self. Now, I'm certainly not going to argue that Triss or Yennefer is better, or canon, or whatever. What I am going to argue is that either romance is believable for Geralt's character in the games and advances the themes of choice. Not just because you're choosing who to romance, but also because of the way the game goes about having Geralt choose. In both romances, Geralt is doing his usual helping the people important to him routine. For Triss, that's helping her in her mission to get sorceresses and other magic users out of the now hostile Novigrad. This desire is a consistent theme for Triss throughout the games. She is forward-thinking and protective of people in the magical community. The growing power of the Church of the Eternal Flame and the madness of King Radovid only increase her worry. While Geralt and Triss had been in a relationship in The Witcher 2, by the time The Witcher 3 rolls around, they've broken up. It then becomes the player's choice through her romance events, whether this is because Geralt was unable to give Triss the romantic commitment she desired, or the returned memories had reminded him of a previous love. Either way, the choice is true to Geralt. If Geralt does say "I love you" to Triss before she is to depart for Kovir, it shows personal growth for him being able to be vulnerable and express feelings. If he doesn't, either he is unable to express those feelings due to years of distancing himself emotionally and his pessimistic views on love, or he has his heart set on another. All of this rings true to the character of Geralt. For Yen, the quest is a lot more personal. Yennefer enlists Geralt's help dealing with a djinn, not for magical power as she says at the beginning of the quest, but in order to undo a wish granted by a djinn to Geralt many years ago, asking to bind him and Yennefer together forever. Due to that wish, it has become unclear to Yennefer if their song and dance of the intervening years has been due to actual feelings between the two, or the machinations of that wish. In short, Yennefer wants the truth behind it. But it's also a way of getting control back and a choice in the matter where before it was uncertain if their choices made any difference. Sound familiar? This leads to the all-important choice of Geralt's when they finally do undo the wish. which I'm sure you know is whether the romance will continue or not, since Yennefer's feelings have not changed. Like with Triss's romance, Geralt helps out Yennefer with her cause, and also like with Triss, the choice boils down to whether he is able to shed some of his wandering soul nature and be vulnerable. Either choice fits with Geralt. Any choice he makes in these romances, including romancing both sorceresses or romancing neither, is believable for his character. Romancing one of them confirms the hints that Geralt is willing to give up his wandering lone wolf status for a remarkable true love. Romancing none, though, reinforces Geralt as a man whose nature is transient and unfixed, which also fits with Geralt as a character and his profession as a witcher. Romancing both shows that Geralt can be an inconsiderate horndog at times. Hey, not every aspect of his personality is positive. The one thing both quests express well, though, is Geralt's loyalty and love for those he cares about. He will go to the ends of the world to protect them, and while he may question them or snark in the background, he will go along with any plans being made if doing so will help them. This loyalty extends beyond Triss and Yennefer to the flamboyant Dandelion. Geralt can help Dandelion with numerous adventures, but one of the biggest is helping him realize his dream of owning a cabaret. Not exactly up Geralt's alley, usually, but hey, if it's for a close friend, he is willing to do all manner of things. He also shares in Dandelion's pain and desire for justice after the brutal attack upon Dandelion's beloved, Priscilla. It's a significant relationship, but all of the other relationships pale in comparison to the affection that drives much of The Witcher 3, Geralt's love for Ciri. With Ciri, Geralt is the doting father and fierce protector. Around her, he can wear his heart on his sleeve in a way he doesn't around almost anyone else. It's understandable, then, that Geralt's decisions about Ciri are the most important in the entire game, determining the ending of the game and whether Ciri lives or dies. Now, obviously, we all want Ciri to live, and so everyone wants to make the decisions that will make that happen. What I will say for the wrong choices, though, is that they are understandable given Geralt's personality. Take the very first choice he has to make that impacts the ending of the game. Ciri asks Geralt how he always manages to keep things together and focused no matter what situation he's thrust into. Geralt's choices for the dialogue are, "Relax, you don't have to be good at everything," and "Think I know what might lift your spirits." The first choice is oblivious Geralt, the more closed-off version that fails to see emotional or social cues, the sort of gruff mentor that he can serve as at times. Ciri, though, in this moment, doesn't need a lesson. She needs the Geralt of the second dialogue choice, the one who under the surface is a caring, warm person and understands his fatherly role with regards to Ciri, and that sometimes he needs to cheer her up rather than teach her another lesson. The first dialogue choice ends with Geralt and Ciri drinking their sorrows away. The second leads to a father-daughter snowball fight and an extremely heartwarming scene. Both do fit with the Geralt, and either one might be the fit for the Geralt you're playing. Although I will note, if you don't get the snowball fight, you are a complete and utter monster. How dare you do that to Ciri? Don't beat yourself up about it too much though, because one bad choice does not screw you over in the game, which is also appropriate because it shows Geralt is not infallible. But that doesn't mean he can't succeed. Especially with parenting, there is no parent who has done a perfect run when it comes to raising a child, and Geralt is no exception with how he handles his relationship with Ciri. All of the choices offer the players a chance to play as Geralt of Rivia, and it is the same Geralt of Rivia, but an adaptable one that has all the elements of every choice. But the ones on display are informed by your choices as the player. Geralt is a stubborn, brusque loner, a loyal and steadfast friend with a hidden heart of gold, a tough enemy, and an invaluable ally. And all that I've talked about barely touches the surface of his character. He is many things, and each of those aspects are informed and can be seen in every choice he makes, no matter the choice. But he is such a deep character that everyone who plays as him can choose to highlight the aspects they believe fit him best and they can connect with. No matter what, if they are in the game, those choices are true to the character CD Projekt Red has made, and that is an incredible feat to have achieved. This mastery of video game character writing makes The Witcher 3 an incredible game in its story and character interactions, and it makes Geralt one of the best video game protagonists I have ever had the pleasure to play as. If you've played the game too, I'm sure you agree, and if you haven't played it, well, hopefully I've given you an incentive to consider playing it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and the second video game character video I've done. I just said video more times than I intended to in that sentence. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment and a like because that helps me know that people like what I'm doing. Feel free to stick around and watch more of my videos, such as my ideas on what The Witcher 4 would look like, and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and happy gaming.